I'm a big fan of your brothers, and especially I became even more of a fan in the bubble. He had some great performances in his rookie year, 9.3 points per game, but then he blew up in the bubble with a couple 30-point games and 15 plus rebound games. How does it feel to be his brother and watching his growth in the NBA so quickly?
It's really just awesome because I've seen him play his whole life, and I've always like looked up to him, being an older brother, and really seen the superstar he could be. I've always known it, and to see that kind of manifest in people, to now see like, wow, he's pretty good. He could, contribute to a contending team. So it's really awesome to see, not only as his brother, but just as a fan of his game, seeing him take the next step. And I think the sky's the limit for that guy.
And he's got one of the nicest shooting strokes in the league. Even Doris Burke on ESPN compared it to Kevin Durant's. How do you feel about that one?
That's been a comparison since he was little too. Like I think his first mixtape on YouTube was called Baby KD. So he's been getting that comparison forever, and I mean that's a lot of high praise, especially from somebody like Doris Burke. But I really think he can be a player like that, just a generational player, as long as he stays healthy and he keeps grinding, because he's one of the hardest working guys I know.
100%. And Jontay, at 6'10", you're not just a regular big man. You have a shooting stroke as well. How did you find that stroke, and how did you develop it? Was it playing basketball as a kid with MPJ when you were younger growing up and having shootouts? How'd you get that stroke going?
I used to shoot like two-handed, really two-handed, and didn't shoot it that well. I honestly wasn't that good at basketball for a long time, but my brother, he's always been like a natural shooter, and that's really all he did as a young kid. So I saw he just like put it in at will. I was like, I want to be able to do that too. So it was pretty late. I think maybe sixth, seventh grade. Usually, like that's when your jumper is set. But my dad and I went to a gym. That whole summer just worked on reworking my jumper and getting it to come off one-handed and rep that out. And it's really kind of just been a part of my game since then. I love shooting. I love doing lots of stuff that traditional big men don't necessarily do. Although that is kind of where the NBA is heading. So I think I found my little niche here in Memphis, and I'm really appreciative that they took me on board, and they know what I'm capable of. So I'm excited to get out there.
And I'm a huge Knicks fan. I wanted us to take MPJ when that draft came around. How did you feel watching that and watching him slip so far to 14, I believe?
That was a funny story. So we kind of knew that was going to happen up until that point, because the night before the draft, I believe it was the Clippers team doctor sent out a memo to every other team saying Michael has the possibility of never playing basketball again. So that scared off like every team. And if Denver didn't pick him, who knows where he would have slipped to. But we kind of knew that was going to happen just off that. Every team, kind of backed off. Um, there was a chance he would have gone two before that. So it did suck, but we knew it was coming, which kind of softened the blow. Instead of just sitting there paralyzed, each name goes off the list. We knew it was coming. That doesn't take away from the fact that it sucked. But I think Michael, just like me, is just thankful for the opportunity that Denver gave him. And you see right now it's starting to pay off. So I don't think he'd rather be anywhere else. I think he loves Denver, and that's just the way the dominoes fell.
Maybe the dominoes fell correctly, like you said, but Denver had back-to-back years of just great drafts. MPJ, your brother, and then Bol Bol. Have you spent any time with Bol Bol, or has your brother told you any funny stories about lining up with him? He's like a 7'2" athletic freak.
That's actually my childhood friend. We played against each other growing up since like fifth grade. He lived in Kansas City. I played on a team in Kansas City, and we became buddies. He's always been freakishly tall, even skinnier back then, believe it or not. But he's just a special talent. I think you combine that size, length with his. He's another big dude who doesn't do big man stuff. So he can shoot it. He can block any shot. I think he's just like a walking mismatch. So if he can stay healthy, if that Denver Nuggets team can stay healthy, they're going to be scary for a long, long time. And I think Bobo and my brother will be a big part of that.
I'm 21. You said you're 20. I might be, a foot and a half ish smaller than you, but I have NBA idols. I'm sure you do too. Who's somebody you can't wait to line up against next season?
Sheesh, that's tough. I mean, idol-wise, I was always a LeBron fan, so that'll be pretty special. But I think the most magical moment will just be playing against my brother, because we both had dreams of playing in the NBA since we were toddlers. But to see that manifest to the point where we'll both be able to play against each other at the same time, there's gonna be nothing like it. So I'm excited for that. Lord willing, we're both healthy when our teams play. But yeah, that'll be great.
And how did it feel to be in those viral videos of Michael in high school, because I remember hearing about your brother, and then his younger brother Jontay, of course. But those mixtapes of Ball is Life and Overtime of your brother, how did you guys would play and you'd get home and probably see this stuff? How'd you react?
It was just fun, man. I remember I would stay up till like past midnight on a school night just watching his videos because they were just so hype, and all his dunks and the music and all that. I don't think it really got to him. He kind of got numb to all of the hype because he had been regarded as a top player forever in high school. So, but for me, it was just like seeing my brother get all this attention. It didn't make me jealous or anything. I just really appreciated that I was able to walk along that journey with him. And that team in Nathan Hale, Seattle, that was a really special year. Playing for Brandon Boy was awesome. And, we didn't lose, so that was just cherry on top for that year.
And how did it feel to go playing with your brother in high school, then in college?
That was really cool, too. Unfortunately, it didn't work out the way we had anticipated because he hardly played in college. But just having him there on the sideline, that's really the main reason I think I'm the player. I was the player at Mizzou that I was. I didn't know if I was going to get playing time. I didn't know if I was going to be one of the best players. But he just instilled that confidence in me every day. And sometimes it got tough, the environment. I was just, like I said, 17 playing in college. So it was really tough. I had a lot of maturing to do.